and welcome or welcome back to BookTube with Amy. So I have found myself recently looking at book boxes. I have subscribed to a couple in the past, so me and Simon have had My Chronicle book box, I have had Fairy Loot, Simon has tried the odd one here or there with Bookishly and can't remember other ones, but they're on the channel anyway. And I have purchased the odd Illumicrate box and things like that. So I was looking for a new book box. We stopped them because we were moving, we bought a house, it was expensive, but things are a bit more settled. And I love getting a book box. I feel like it's a wee treat. So I have been looking for a new one to subscribe to. And I came up with an interesting idea. Well, it's interesting to me, and I'm hoping you are going to find it interesting as well. So something that I have briefly spoken about on the channel a few times is my aim to be more sustainable and my interest in sustainability. I've spoken before about my views on responsible consumerism. And I guess I've not really spoken much about what else I do in my life to try and be sustainable, other than the fact that majority our book collection is used books. And I decided to have a wee look into more sustainable book boxes, because if I was going to treat myself, then I wanted to know that what I was doing wasn't harming the environment. No disrespect to anybody who subscribes to Fairy Loot or Chronicle book box or any other book box. I'm not saying you don't care about the planet. I'm just saying that I would like to know that anything that I am consuming is going to be as good for the planet as possible. And there are so many different options out there and so many different brands that say that they are sustainable for different reasons. And so I thought what could be cool is if I buy a different book box every single month, and we can have a wee rating system and we can rate them against a couple of different variables and then see at the end of the year what one comes out top. So firstly, I'm going to score it on price, and when I'm talking about price, I'm not going to compare box to box. I'm going to look at all of the items that I get in that box and see if I think what I have paid for it is a fair price. I appreciate that everybody might have a different opinion on that, so it's going to be, well, my opinion, because that's why you come here, to see my opinion on things. But I'll show you everything that's in the box, and then I'll tell you whether or not I feel that that is reasonable. I just don't feel like it's fair to compare it box to box, because some of the boxes that I will buy might be only books. Some of the boxes that I buy, you might only receive one book, whereas others you could get a couple. Some of them might have treats and things like that, other ones don't. So I don't feel like it's fair to compare that way. So it will just be based on that box, do I think that that's fair? And really what I'm looking for when it comes to price is I would look to be getting a bit of a bargain. So if I just decided one day that I was going to treat myself and I was going to go out, would I have spent that amount of money on the items that I have received in that box? Do I feel like I've saved a few quid? I'm also going to rate it on luxury, so that's something that I look for in my book boxes. I want it to feel really special and I want it to feel like a wee bit of a treat, because I just think that there's nothing better than if you've had a crappy day at work, or if you're just on your period, or you're feeling a bit under the weather and you come home and you've got your book box sitting to open. It does just feel like such a wee treat, and I really like when you get like different wee snacks and drinks and things like that, because it feels like a wee event sitting down. And you might not even be sitting down necessarily with that book from your book box, but it feels like making reading a really cute wee event if you sit down and you've got, you know, your coffee for your book box and you're reading your book and you've got your wee snack. So I'm looking for that as well. I want it to be just as exciting as if I was purchasing from a Fairy Loot or from a My Chronicle book box. I'm also going to rate the quality of the books, and that will be both if they are pre-loved, obviously the condition I receive them in, but also just the quality, the actual book in general. Like, is it some well-known authors? Is it books that I would pick up? Or is it going to have been like a 50p charity bookshop special? if it may be somebody that I haven't heard from and wouldn't necessarily be something that I would pick up, because although I am trying to buy pre-loved books and I'm trying to be sustainable, I also want it to be something that I would be genuinely interested in reading. I appreciate that these books are never going to hold up to a custom Fairy Loot book, and that is absolutely fine. I'm not going to judge it against Fairy Loot, I'm just going to judge it against my reading taste and whether or not it's something that I would pick up for myself, or if it's something that I know is really loved in that genre, or if it's just a wee, you've got that in the penny sale on Amazon and you've repackaged it in this box. And then lastly, one of the most important parts of this is going to be how sustainable the box is. So I won't dig in too much into the contents of the box. What I really want to know is what that company or what that person, if it's an individual seller, is doing in terms of making sure that this product is sustainable as possible. So I'll be looking at packaging. Is it recyclable? Do I feel like the packaging merits what I have received, or that there is too much of it? Does this company have any carbon neutral, carbon offsetting claims? Is the book pre-loved, which we are hoping it will be, that's what we are aiming for. And then anything else that that company claims in terms of their sustainability. And perhaps some of the items in it will be carbon neutral or sustainable products, and we can talk about that at the time as well. So I'm really excited about it. I have been eagerly awaiting the arrival of my first box, and not only have I found some really cool companies that are aiming to sell a more sustainable book box, but also because I'm doing it month at a time, it also gave me the opportunity to open it up to other avenues that I potentially wouldn't have looked at before. So our first box is from a seller on Etsy. It's not a place where I have ever looked for book boxes before, however there are a lot on there and you can get a wide variety of genres, a wide variety of contents, and so there's a couple that I am planning to get from there, because I think it's cool that you could be sustainable and you could also support an independent business as opposed to giving your money to a bigger company. So that's something that I'm also going to include in this as well. So my first box is from Paperback Writer Books on Etsy. Now, while they made no claims that this was a sustainable box, you have the option when you're picking your genre that you can also pick a pre-loved book, so I decided to include them in this based on that fact. I think it's good that the customer has the option. I have obviously opted for a pre-loved version in my genre of choice. I think that it's really good that you can personalise the genre also, so that you're not getting something that is completely outside your wheelhouse and there's going to be more of a chance that you're going to read it. So this box cost me £20. So it comes with a cute wee stamp on the front of it, and then you get a cute wee postcard as well, just thanking you for your purchase. So this is how it comes. It's got tissue paper, and it's got some of the wee paper packaging stringy thingies. So let's leave the book for last. This is a blind date with a book box, so it is all wrapped up and I do not know what is inside, so we can leave that to last. So the first item that I can see, oh no, I've got paper everywhere, is some wee cosy socks. I love these. I wear them at work constantly because I am on my feet all day, and sometimes you just need a really good pair of fluffy socks so that it stops that ache, so I'm really pleased about this. And then we have a wee French vanilla candle, that's really cute. Oh, it smells lovely. And then I've got some Borders biscuits. I have some Milka chocolate. I've got two little Nescafe sachets. I've got a wee face mask as well. And then we've got a nice wee postcard there as well. Oh, this is so cute. I've got a wee personalised bookmark, which is just adorable. I absolutely love that. So then last part is the book, and it comes with a wee stamp. It says blind date with a book, and then it's got my initials up the top as well. So excited. Oh, amazing. So it's Daughter of Smoke and Bone by Laini Taylor. Right, so let's break it down by categories then, now that you've saw what I've got. So for price, I think that that is a really fair price point for this box. I think that for the amount of products that you received in it, I think that £20 is more than fair. So for a price point, sorry, I should have said this earlier, but I'm going to score every box out of 5 per category. So for a price point, I think that this is 5 for me. It's absolutely in the sweet spot. I think that for everything that you get included and the items that you get, it's absolutely fair. £20 is a great price for it. Luxury, I think that this definitely feels like a luxurious box. It's got cosy socks, it's got snacks, it's got a candle. You could definitely make a wee event while you are reading if you decide that you just want to jump into the book right away. So it's definitely going to provide you a cosy wee reading experience. I think that is great. It was really good quality products that were inside it as well. Sometimes you can find that when you purchase blind date with a book type things or book boxes from independent sellers, that it can be lower quality, sometimes off-brand products that are included in the box. Wasn't the case with this one at all, so I'm really pleased about that. So in terms of luxury, I would rate it a 4 for luxury. Again, I think it would score quite high. In terms of quality of the book, I mean, Laini Taylor is a really well-known YA author. I haven't read any of her work yet, however, I do plan to read this series. It's a really good quality edition. It was received as well. It is a current edition. It's not an older cover that is on it. I have seen these in the works. So it's a newer edition, and the quality of the book was really good as well. You wouldn't be able to tell that it was a pre-loved book. For that reason, I will rate it a 4. I think that the quality of the book was brilliant. It would obviously rate higher if it was to be a hardback, but I think that the opportunities of getting a hardback in these boxes might be quite slim. But yeah, I'd rate it quite highly, and it would be a 4. So in terms of sustainability then, which is going to be probably the biggest scoring point for all of these boxes, it's great that it's a pre-loved book. Definitely get a point for that. The face mask that was included is chemical and paraben free and vegan friendly. So again, it's a brand that is well known. I think that Seventh Heaven in the UK is quite a well known beauty brand. We sell them in my place of work, and the fact that it is a more sustainable brand is really, really good. So you definitely get a point for that. In terms of the individual seller, like I had said, they made no claims that this was a sustainable box by any means, but I did include it because they had included the pre-loved book option. However, Etsy as a business, they have made the commitment that they carbon offset for all of the packaging and all of the delivery of your product, and I have mixed views on carbon offsetting. So before, I was of the viewpoint that carbon offsetting, it's just a bit like, well, if I offset it, it means that I don't need to make any changes. But actually, I think that as long as you are making changes where you can make changes and you are offsetting the rest, I am fairly comfortable with that. And I think that Etsy, as an online retailer, who depend on small independent businesses, they can police what packaging every single seller needs to use. So to offset that is fair, and also they are an online business, so their items need to be delivered. So the fact that they are also willing to offset the carbon costs of the delivery of your item, I think is really good as well. And the individual seller of this item, Paper Writer Books, has used recyclable packaging. All the wee paper stringies in it, they're recyclable. The tissue paper recyclable, the box will be recyclable, and even the book and the candle that were wrapped, they were wrapped in brown paper and string, which are also recyclable. So it would score fairly high for me in terms of sustainability as well. It would be a 4 for me. Out of a possible 20, this box has scored 17, which I think is brilliant for the first one that I have done. And so my plan for this series is that I'm just going to buy a different book box a month, and we'll sit down exactly like this and we'll just chat through the contents, great for me because I'm going to get loads of nice treats and hopefully some really cool books. I mean, any excuse to buy a book. Thank you very much for watching. Hopefully you are enjoying everything that you are reading at the moment, and I will catch you in the next one. Bye.